reefers, welcome back to Dan's Reefing. Today you join me for a update on the Waterbox Frag 145.5. This is going to be the October update, and we're just going to do like a little overview, how the tank's doing, what's going on, any problems, etc. But we'll jump straight into parameters because I haven't done the parameters for a while. So at the moment, my calcium is currently running at 470, so that's sort of crept back up a little bit. So I'm sort of trying to back that off a little bit. My magnesium is currently running at around 1290 to 1300. My alkalinity is 8.5. That's always pretty stable on this tank. It's always between, I try and keep it between 8 and 9. I don't particularly, try and dial one in particular. It normally runs about 9, but yeah, alkalinity is fine. Nitrates are currently running at 10. And that's on a weekly test. So I'm still dosing Nopox at the moment, and I will go into a little bit more on Nopox in a minute. What else is there? Phosphate, currently running 0.02 to 0.03. Still dosing Lanthanum, still having good success with it. I normally do 2 to 3 mil every other day, and that seems to be keeping it at a steady level. I don't particularly want to run it much lower because things seem to be doing okay, especially the SPS. So I don't really want to run it super low. I'd rather have a little bit in there. And pH normally runs between 8 to 8.2, 8.3. Depends on what time of day I test it. In the morning, it's normally about 8.2. And then in the evening, if I test it, which I don't really do that often anymore, it's normally come in about 8. And I don't think there's much else parameter-wise. Everything is still running really, really good. I've not long come back off the weekend from Aqua 2025, and that was a really, really good weekend. I only did the Saturday. So for any of you that I did see there, thank you for the people I did see. It was a really, really good day. Coral vendors were definitely much better this year. There was more of them for a start, and the ones that were there previously, Prestige Reef, for example, were definitely up to the game, bigger stand. There was loads of nice corals, so that was really good. And other things with the tank, everything is going really good. So Aqua, I didn't go crazy on my purchases. I was really there more just to see fellow reefers and have a look at the new products coming out. I did get a couple of corals. I didn't go mad, and I will show you them in a minute. Yeah, there's been nothing crazy going on with this system really. It's all pretty much running in sort of autopilot. Can I really say autopilot if I'm still dosing manually, which is still a bit of a pain. Doser, still on the hunt for one of them. But it's going well. The tank, as I said, is doing really, really good. The lighting has made a massive difference, good and bad, and I'll show you that in a minute. But yeah, let's get you off and we'll go over a tank overview. Thank you. Okay, so we will start down this end of the tank, and I'll show you a little bit what's been going on really. So I did mention probably a couple of videos ago, I was starting to get bubble algae sort of rear its ugly head, and as you can see, I've got bits and pieces over the rock work, high and low really. Does seem to be sort of in most places, just in patches. And as I said, you can see some on this lower section, just bits and pieces. So yeah, you'll see some of that on the rock throughout this this little update, but and I'll point out some of the particularly bad bits. But let's start this end. As we're here, we've got the blue stag, which came from Matt, Norfolk Reefer, and originally it came from Chris, Hurrins Reef, who I got the lights from. But that's doing really, really well. That's got some nice growth on it. It has got bigger. So yeah, that's doing really, really nicely. On the very top, we have got the Hulk, which came from Eden Corals, Ron. I am going to move that further down. So it hasn't really grown at all, really. And I think possibly it is too close to the surface, and I think it's getting too much light. So I'm going to move that. somewhere lower down, and I'm hoping it's going to do a little bit better. On the top, this side, we've got the granulosa teal, green, blue. That's actually doing really, really well. That's another one of Ron's Eden corals, and that's doing really, really good. Down this side, there isn't much more. I've got some red Monty cap, which came from Baby Dave, which is doing really, really good. And I've just got an old piece of Forest Fire Digi just in the center there. So if we come down center of the tank, and then we'll just hook to the left again to show you this side. But yeah, you can see that stag. That stag's pretty happy, really. That's been doing really, really good. And there is the granulosa. That has definitely grown. I'd say that's got considerably longer, and yeah, just doing really, really good in general. Just down below that, we've got the Joker. Again, that was another one of Ron's Eden corals. That's not been growing that quick. I think, again, I might need to reposition that. A little bit further down, we've got the fluffy one, I call it. This is what came from Finest when we had the Reefers Network meet. I've moved that down a little bit. It was over this side, just above the candy canes, but I've put that down here now. It seems to be doing okay. Has grown a fair bit. Just beneath that, we've got a Favia, which I got from Aqua 2025. That was just a little piece that I've been after for a little while. But generally, this island is doing really, really good, apart from a few bits of bubble algae, and there's still the odd vermitid snail as well. But this island, this side, is doing really, really good. So if we move over to the central island, and then this is where things get a little bit more interesting. So this has sort of backed off a little bit, but if you look along the top of the rock, there is a fair amount of algae, and there is an odd bit of bubble algae mixed in, just for good measure. So it's very strange. I think I've had a couple of people tell me that it looks like a certain type. It is like very sort of like, you know, like long strands, but fairly spaced out. I mean, that section up there in particular. So there's a couple of things I need to do really with that. One, I need more cleanup crew, and potentially at some point I might end up doing a treatment. I think it has tapered off from around a week and a half ago, and I did back the lights down a little bit, so I backed the lights down just ever so slightly. But yeah, it's as I said, generally, as you know, this is the day before my water change day, and this is generally what the tank looks like before I do a water change and any maintenance. So you're kind of seeing it before I've really done anything major myself. But if we go into the corals, we've got the pearlberry at the top there. That's another one of Ron's Eden corals. That's doing really, really well. There's some bits of growth coming off of that. It might be a tad bit high. I'm not like overly sure if it's a tad bit high, but it is fairly close to the waterline. So again, it might be another one I might have to reposition at some point, because again, I'm sort of guesstimating what sort of par is running across the top of this scape. It might actually be too much. So I do need to check it. PC Rainbow, just in the center there. That's actually doing really, really good. Still got its coloration, and there is bits that are growing with that. So it's not as fast grower. There's a couple of ones I have from Ron, but it's still doing really, really good. We've got another one that came from Finest, and it's just like a little green SPS. I think it's a type of Digi. That's doing really good. That's got a bit of growth on it. What else we got lower down? Candy canes, still doing okay. they've been growing and they're still growing, so that's pretty good. I've got my orange bounce mushroom. I think it's a bounce mushroom. It's between one and another. Um, that's doing okay. I'm trying to get some of this fragged because I've got someone who wants a piece of this. So I'm trying. I did try before aqua, and I just completely mullered this side, that left side of it. I completely mullered it, trying to get it off the rock. So I need to try that again. The other type I had from Matt and Roxanne is doing okay. I've got a bit more red Monty Cap that came from Dave, which came from Matt, and I can't remember if that came from Heron's Reef, Chris, or not, but yeah, that's doing okay. I think it's grown a little bit. I think it's fairly happy where it is, but for the middle section, again, apart from the odd little bit of bubble algae, which I sort of just tend to manually get off, it's all pretty good for those two islands. But yeah, then if we come over to the far right, again, nothing major going on with this really. We've got the other part of the mushroom that I had from Matt. The frog spawn there is doing really well. That came from Steve, East Coast Reefer. Gave me a piece of that, so that's doing good. That's a funny coral. It tends to, like, 1 minute it'll be out looking like that, really puffy, and the next minute it's like it gets spooked by something and it will sort of retract a bit and go in. It reminds me a bit of the Kenya tree I had, but not quite as sulky as the Kenya tree. But on the whole, it's doing good. I wouldn't say it's necessarily got any bigger. It probably has, but it's not one of the ones that I tend to notice. And then lower down, the one that hasn't been doing as good is the Duncan. So I've been scratching my head at this Duncan. There's nothing going on with the base. It was fine when I originally put it in. This was another one that came from Steve. And it was fine when it first went in, absolutely no problems. And then it's just been sulking. This is like the most it's been out for probably a good 3 weeks. I wasn't sure if it was something to do with the calcium. My calcium level did jump from 430 and it did go back up to 460. So I don't know whether it was the calcium that might have been causing it to sulk a little bit. I don't think they like super high calcium, but it probably wasn't. I'm probably clutching at straws. Yeah, the organ pipe coral's gone, which is a bit sad. I might try another bit down the line and try and get another piece, and we'll try and go again. But yep. And I don't know what else we've got this side. I think we've got I think that's the peach frost. That's actually doing really good. Has had quite a bit of growth on that, just like the stag over the other side. It's doing well. I did pick up so after my butterfly ate my original gold hammer that I had from Harry, I decided to try and replace it. So I messaged Harry, the spiritual reefer, before aqua and asked him if I could buy another piece. And he thankfully had some, and he was able to bring it to aqua. So that's just on that rock there, which is nice. I think I'm going to try and get another 2 bits of hammers, and they're going to go on that section as well. And we'll try and create a little bit of a hammer sort of island on that lower section. I've still got that piece of SPS, which is slowly growing. It's doing fairly well. I would say it's probably twice the size of what it was when I originally mounted it. So it's definitely growing. That was another one that came from Matt. And I've got Harry's original bit of purple stylo mounted at a bit of an angle. It's been a slow grower that. It's still there and it's still doing well, but it's yeah, that's been really slow to do anything, but it is changing, so it's getting sort of thicker. So I'm expecting something to happen to that quite soon. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else coral wise that I need to tell you. I'm not sure there is. Everything seems to be coral wise. I said since the lights have gone up, the SPS has just been phenomenal difference. Like I said, it's all been growing. It's all been looking really nice. But yeah, we might as well dive into the fish while we're here. So my good old long nose, yellow butterfly. Still absolutely love that fish. It's like one of my favourite all-time marine fish. I've always wanted one for quite a long time. So I was really happy when I got one for my birthday. And that was back in January. End of Jan, early Feb, I got him. He actually started the whole white spot saga in this tank, which I've thankfully been able to shake off and get rid of. But yeah, he's such a cool fish. He's always out. He's not shy. He's not a fussy eater, and I just really like him. Really cool fish. Who else have we got? One spot foxface. That came from the tank breakdown local to me, which I went in and nabbed. But he's doing really good. Him and the powder blue seem to get on a lot better now. There's no sort of squabbling. I did report that on the last update, I believe. But yeah, he's doing really good. Always swimming. So he swims the whole length of this tank all the time. He's just back and forth like he's doing now, just cruising. So yeah, I'm quite thankful. You know, I know people keep these fish in smaller tanks, but honestly, when you see him just going back and forth all the time, I couldn't imagine him being in a 3 foot. I probably would feel a little bit cruel. But yeah, and then speak of the other tang, we've got the Tommy tang still, really good size. This guy, I've got him at pretty good size. He's still doing really well. As I said, another one of my favourite fish. I was after one for quite a while, and yeah, when he came up in my local LFS, I just had to have him. But he wasn't that cheap though. He was about 80 UK pounds, which is quite expensive for a Tommy. But as I said, he was a good size. Who else we got? Powder blue. Can't forget him. Absolutely stunning fish. I just love watching him just mooch about all day. He's always picking at the rock, picking at bits of algae. As you can see, I haven't really cleaned my back weir box for a little while, so I need to do that. But yeah, powder blue is just like phenomenal fish. And he does occasionally, he will try and incite some sort of race or try and get someone to dart in front of him so he can sort of give him a bit of a chase, but not really that aggressive at the minute. He's definitely on more of the chilled side. But yeah, when he like puts it even remotely, presses the pedal, accelerator pedal a little bit, he covers this tank in quite quick succession. So yeah, he's a very fast swimmer. And who else we got? We've got the old silver spot. I think he was originally advertised as a blue Fuji eye, and he is, but I call him a silver spot. It's a silver spot tang to me, but yeah, he's he or she, he's doing really well. He's sort of coming to his own a little bit now with his coloration. I think he's got a little bit bigger, and his colours are looking really good. But he's he or she is definitely more of a recluse fish, so it will swim out in the open, but it tends to like dart in between the islands of the rockscape, and it will just mirage in and out of the swim throughs within the rock. But yeah, really nice tang. As I said, it's not out all the time, but when you see it sort of out and about, it's actually quite nice to see. And I think that's it. Everything's doing well. I do need to get some more cleanup crew, which I'm going to do. So there you go, guys. That's going to be it for today. Just a little update on what's going on. Overall, I'm really happy with the tank. I'm really happy with the growth. It seems to have taken me forever to get to the point where I can actually see constant growth with things, and it's actually nice to have some SPS, you know, the dreaded SPS. It's actually nice to have some being kept successfully. As I said, I always thought it was going to be a sort of dream that I was never going to be able to achieve with any growth. And it's nice to actually get to a point now where stuff on the whole generally is doing fairly well. I'm hoping when the calcium level comes down a little bit more, the Duncan, I'm hoping is going to bounce back and open up more. And if that does happen, I'll let you know whether I think that was the case. But that's the only thing I can kind of think of with the Duncan. But And I'm going to probably move a couple of the SPS positions, as I mentioned, a little bit lower down, because I think a couple of them are getting perhaps a bit too much light. So I will do that. And I've got some other stuff coming up down the line, which I'm not going to talk about yet, because I'm not entirely sure which way I'm going to be going. But I'll keep you updated. And yeah, until next time, see you all soon, and happy reefing. Thanks, guys.